It's finally official that we're in a recession, so that means we can stop talking about it, right?
Right. Listen.
Well, no, we're probably gonna get more recession talk as we progress through these tough times that many investors just haven't experienced. There's been a huge influx of new traders and new investors from the 2020 ons, and they never experienced a recession before. But that poses another question. Are we really in a recession? Because the White House and Jerome Powell are both somewhat denying that we're currently in a recession. Their main argument has been that the unemployment numbers just aren't where they're supposed to be for us to be in an official recession. While the real definition of a recession is two negative GDP reports, which we did get with the last report on Thursday being negative 0.9%. Now, I think that this is a sneaky way for politicians and the White House to not take the blames of us being in a recession.
Sneaky, sir. Right this way.
During a recession, unemployment tends to go higher later during a recession, not at the very beginning of it. It totally makes sense because companies are starting to see a decline in their profits, and the very first thing they do is not just fire a bunch of people right away. That comes later down the line. And usually an unemployment is an effect of a recession, not the cause. So it is a lagging indicator. So by the time the unemployment numbers are high, we've kind of been delaying, we have been in a recession. Now we're starting to see a lot of companies actually starting to do layoffs. We've seen it even with biggest companies like Microsoft and Apple saying they're going to slow down the hiring they're planning to do. We're also seeing this with Amazon, one of the biggest employers out there. They're actually down 100,000 employees from the same time last year in the latest earnings that they reported on Thursday, which is showing that yes, unemployment will soon probably start rising much higher than we think. For that reason, I do think we've been in a recession the last 6 months, and we're pretty much going to continue being in a recession for a little while until the economy picks back up. Now, the crazy thing that we actually saw is that, wait, we enter a recession, but the stock markets and the crypto markets actually both kind of rallied. The investors see this as a positive thing being in a recession. Well, the thing is that the stock markets and also the crypto market usually tend to rally on bad news, which means that whenever bad news hits, the markets can understand, hey, that's probably as bad as it can get and we can only go up from here. All the estimates and report predicted us to be in a recession, so it didn't really catch investors off guard. That is why even with interest rates rising, we're starting to see the stock market not caring as much and actually kind of turning more bullish. We saw in the latest FOMC meeting that with a 0.75 interest rate hike, we actually saw the stock market rally again, which is crazy to think, because if we go just back to the beginning of the year, a 0.50 increase seemed like the worst case scenario where the stock market was never going to recover. And now a 0.75 increase is actually good news. The reasoning is that investors are starting to understand that interest rate hikes are just part of the current market conditions and we're fighting off inflation. And yes, it is better to raise interest rates so that we have lower inflation numbers, because wages just cannot keep up with how fast inflation was currently growing. Now we're getting certain signs that inflation could be cooling off, which means the next time we have a federal meeting, which will be in September, as they're taking August off because of vacation times, you know, the Federal Reserve, they just gotta go on vacations all the time, right? By then we have numbers showing that inflation could be cooling off. They could be lowering those interest rate hikes even less, which would be really, really bullish for the stock market. But a point that not many people are talking about is interest rates doesn't essentially mean that the stock market does bad. There's been many occasions where interest rates have increased and the stock market still did well. Now let's talk about how will that impact our portfolio and where should we be putting our money. Of course, with real estate, we're just going to see mortgage rates go higher and higher as interest rates do go higher. But now one thing that we can understand from is that real estate, if you aren't buying for an investment, rent will still be trending up. As houses come down in prices, but mortgage rates go higher, a lot of people might be choosing to rent for now rather than buying a home, which will make rent prices still go higher. Now, if you do decide to get a home, I don't think it's a terrible idea, as eventually, whenever the interest rates do come down, you can refinance your home, which we saw so many people do in 2020, 2021, when we saw interest rates so low to almost zero. Now, that is still an option, of course, for the time being. Until those interest rates don't come down, you're still going to be having a higher than average mortgage rate. Now, for stocks and crypto, I'm happy where I started dollar cost averaging back in the last month or two, which have been near the lows of the current market conditions. Now, if we do look at the 2000 and 2008 bubbles, we can see that the stock market, it is following that pattern, which could indicate we're still got a lot more lows to see, but we will get some bounces in between, which is going to more than likely make people think that, hey, maybe the bottom is in and we're back in a bull market. I just don't think we're essentially back in a bull market. I do think we'll see a retest of near the highs in the mid 400s into the high 400s until we do see that last leg down, which will be much longer than people do expect. I've been having that stance pretty much the whole year when I call the market top, when I call the market bottom, a temporary bottom at least it is, and I still do have that condition. And same thing with crypto could rally back in the 40s to 50,000 even, and it still wouldn't matter, as I do think that we'll eventually see new lows. Now that doesn't stop me from dollar cost averaging and keep investing, keep taking profits. A key level for different companies is I do manage my portfolio actively and I rotate my portfolio as well. If you actually want to check out my latest video, I show you how you can just pretty much copy my whole portfolio with a really cool app that did not sponsor the video, but I just wanted to share with you guys because I get asked if I can manage people money all the time. Rather than that, I'll just show you what I'm investing in currently and the updates anytime I make any changes. So make sure you watch the latest video. Okay, now the crypto market, I wasn't able to do that, but what I'm investing in is always Bitcoin, Ethereum, and a couple other altcoins. And let me know in the comments below if you want me to show you the altcoins that I'm choosing. But to be safe, almost all my portfolio is in Bitcoin and Ethereum, which Ethereum has seen a nice little pump lately. Now, lastly, saving is actually not a bad idea. We always hear that you shouldn't be saving your money, you're going to lose money to inflation. But in the current market conditions, saving your money for a potential crash, especially to get a really good deal on real estate or get back into some certain stocks that you might like, it's really not a bad idea. So I do think saving is not a terrible option right now, and having more cash on hand than usual might be a bit better play. Always remember that the US has seen so many recessions throughout its history, and every single time all the markets recover. This is both the stocks and the real estate market. Now this is the first major recession that we're going to see the crypto market in, so it'll be very interesting how it plays out, but I do think they're going to come out on top on the very end. These videos always take a lot of time and research for me to bring out to you guys, so I appreciate if you can leave a like, comment, and subscribe below. Let me know what is your plan during this crazy recession, just the craziest times that we've been in a very long time. I know there's a lot of new investors, so that it might be scary for you guys. I promise you, just keep investing, have a plan, and at the end you will come out on top, and your future you is probably gonna thank yourself. And as always, peace.